And now, The Bonfire with Big J. Okerson and Dan Soder.
Seems to be.
All right. Which one's dead?
Neil Peart.
Neil Peart. The drummer.
Yeah, not Geddy Lee or the other guy.
I'm the third guy. That's a good guy to say you're related to for a bar lie.
Oh, yeah. Good bar lie.
Yeah.
Or the drummer from ZZ Top.
And before he passed away, the third guy of ZZ Top, Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, no, but I would say the drummer from ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Is the one. No, if you say you know the Beard guys, it's too easy
Of
to
course,
track.
Billy Gibbons is,
Yeah, but if you say I know Frank Beard, and you know it's always a fun
Frank
fact too.
Beard, that's it.
Isn't
Yeah.
it funny too? Like he's the one that doesn't have a beard.
Come on. We always joked about that when we get together with the band.
By the way, I think Frank Beard did have a beard. He just didn't have a ZZ Top beard.
Yeah, he had a
He at least
half
had a stash. For sure. You're not walking around the 80s without a stash.
Lewis used to have this great premise of a joke that he never did, just about how before the internet you could just lie about stuff and just completely get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, really, 80s must have been peak lying.
Did you have what's your biggest
God,
lie?
I told you when I was in elementary school, I told the kids in my school that Under Siege was based on my
Yeah,
dad.
your dad's life. That's a good one.
Because he was a cook in the Navy. Which
Yeah,
he was.
I think we went through this
based
before.
on truth, he was a cook in the Navy.
Yeah.
He was just an alcoholic that sat up top and drank all the beers while they launched missiles at the Vietnamese.
He never thwarted a international plan of
Nor
terrorism.
did a heavy-chested woman jump out of a cake during a
Erica Liniak.
Yeah, and Tommy Lee.
Remember her?
Yeah, and Tommy Lee Jones didn't eat ham off a knife.
Erica Liniak, she was in that movie. The problem is she was so hot leading up to that movie and everything. She did that movie and showed her titties, but they gave her like a haircut that your mom would have.
Yeah, dude, soccer mom cut.
It's a horrible haircut.
You know what it was? It was around. Everyone was doing that. It was that time in the '90s where all like Demi Moore.
Slave to a bad haircut. I gotta tell you, I didn't even realize Bridget Fonda was hot until she had long hair in Jackie Brown. And Single White Female, they made that the thing. I'm like, I get it. Like she's like sexy, but that stupid hair. Remember Demi Moore's dumb ghost hair?
Yeah.
You're coming back for that mop?
That was a big look.
The fuck out of here.
That was the look, though. The long bangs in the front, short in the back.
Oh, nice page boy on a girl?
Yeah.
Darcy.
Yeah. Hey, you want to fuck the yes front lady constantly?
Oh, no. I'll take some Carano.
Oh, say. She is freaky looking.
Freaky deaky.
That's a freaky looking lady.
Freaky in the sack. What lies did you have lies when you were younger that you got away with?
Well, yeah, mine was, but mine, I think we said this before, or maybe one of this topic before. Jacob, you remember. Did we do this, Lou? About like lies we told when we were young? Cause maybe not, because I can't remember yours, but I
Can
definitely.
You bring up
I go
Thompson
to
Twins, lies.
I go to my
backing bed.
I'd go to my dad's in the summertime sometimes.
That is a lie. That's the El Dorado of lying. You can just make up
Well, the
anything
move was
you want
on
to.
picture day. For whatever reason, it wasn't weird to just ask schoolmates for one of their pictures.
No, that was the thing.
Doesn't even make any sense.
When you'd get them back from Life Touch or
Yeah,
wherever you get them, and then you'd be like, "You want one?" Yeah, give me a picture.
Yeah, I don't know why. And then I put him in my wallet.
Yeah.
Hey, here's my friends.
I would go
Here's
to
portraits of my friends.
That's what
I
we
would
did
go
before internet.
I would go. I would do
Portraits
is
of my friends.
I would go to a kid's house who I didn't like their parents, and then I would cut the eyes out of all the photos I've collected and put them in their dad's wallet, and then just really.
He's a serial killer?
Yeah, then I just break up that family, and then I'd disappear.
He goes, the eyes are the doorway to the soul.
I was big into Machiavelli when I was a child. I like the idea of
No, I used to go to my
controlling some
dad's,
power.
and with those pictures, each summer I would just decide which one I was going to tell the people there.
Yeah, in
Was
Ohio.
my girlfriend, yeah.
Nice, dude. You just have a draft where you'd be like, who
Yeah.
am I going with? Jenny
Yeah.
Graber or Kara Woods?
I remember laying Kim Krapinski out there a lot,
Oh, man.
but that was the closest, too. We held hands that one time.
I fake girlfriended it in 7th grade.
Yeah.
I got called out, and I was like, I have a girlfriend. She goes to middle school with my cousin. She didn't. And it was quickly revealed that she didn't. And when you're on the back of the bus, when you're on one bus ride and you go from having a girlfriend to Soder's lying about having a girlfriend, by the time you're off it, you're like, well, this day's a wash.
Well, you remember I told people that I didn't tell them that I didn't fuck that girl, Carly, and I had to go make the apology.
Oh, my God. You had to go to her house.
Her house.
The
I didn't know
assembly.
assembly
Oh,
in school.
Oh my god! I block it out. How do you live with it? I block it out.
That
though,
must
I
have
figured.
scarred him for life,
My
right?
God, dude! No wonder you have zero fear on
That's
stage.
why I can only come when I see burning flesh.
No, but I'm saying when people watch comics, sometimes I'll be like, "How did he get so comfortable on stage?" And it's like, "Oh, because this is heaven compared to what you had to go through in middle school as a child."
That's probably why I was able to get through the black circuit.
Because you're just like, "Judge me, go ahead. I've already been defeated
Not
by
even judge
everyone."
me. It's like yell shit out. He goes, "I'm fine. I get it."
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy. Did you ever lie about stuff, Christine?
Oh, for sure she did.
Everyone
I
lied.
was a little liar.
Yeah,
like I would
No,
just
but we're
lie
not, we're not
about-
talking about the
Let me tell
nitpickies.
you-
We're talking about like a not grandiose. Cause
Just to make everyone feel, everyone as a kid lies about shit, and if you didn't, congratulations. I think you're like 1 in a million.
Well, if you say you didn't, you're currently a liar. You piece of shit.
Or when like people try to act like they were like, I was confident my whole life. It's like, you're a rarity. You should know that. If you are and you're
There
not
were
lying,
those kids did exist.
I know. I asked
felt
Alan that all the time in
back
therapy.
down the middle school, the kid that was just like, dude, this kid just walks like he's got it.
Yeah, I asked Alan in therapy.
I
was like,
slouched my entire life.
I was like, are there people that just are like adjusted and can just take in love and give love and have intimacy and like are comfortable? They're not constantly anxious. And he was like, yeah. There's people like that. And I'm like, really? Fucking weirdos, dude. Weirdos. How are you not walking around just like?
You forget that we're the weirdos
so-
because we just surround ourselves with only other weirdos.
Also,
I remember when they happen. They're so rare. But one time, I had the right amount of drinks at Wayne's house.
Yeah.
We were on the roof one
Yeah.
night. It was beautiful weather. Christine was home. She had to do something. Maybe we were like getting Skankfest stuff together or something. And I went over to Wayne's, had a few drinks, smoked some weed, and walked home. And like whatever was on my headphones and the weather was perfect. I was borderline dancing home.
It just clicked.
That's the only thing. But it's the envy that I have. The best scene in fucking Saturday Night Fever is him walking down the street to pick up paint for a shitty hardware job. He just looked so happy. He was just like, and you know why? As you watch the movie, he's crushing pussy constantly.
Guy's
Everyone
got
knows
moves.
he's the best dancer in the fucking world. He doesn't want for anything.
Not only in Brooklyn, all 5 boroughs.
Guy's killing it.
But I remember like seeing kids.
I would say that kind of. I've never walked down the street with my head held high one time in my life.
My friend Brian had a 6-pack when we were like kids, and like a lot of kids have 6-packs. But he just stayed having a 6-pack, and then when he was the friend that like I was there when he tried to do a backflip and he did it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. He could wear Umbros and they look good. I would wear Umbros and I look sick. Like my legs were all skinny.
When Jacob said I'll try a kip up and did it, it took me 3 months to get back to where I was like comfortable around him again.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that you nailed that so good.
But I think there's people out there who have just strung that all together and they're like, yeah, I'm good. Whatever.
Hot people at
We're
dance
just-
clubs.
yeah,
in
we're-
Miami.
Yes.
I think you're right, dude. I think that might be the litmus test. If you could do a fucking backflip, if you could do a backflip, you're fine.
Dude, have you seen that video? I wish I would have found it.
Because you had the concentration in life to learn how to do a backflip.
Can you go to Sports Center's, go to ESPN Sports Center's Instagram? There's a clip of a college football team like dancing around, and this kid does a backflip and lands it, and the coach is like got sunglasses on acting, and he tries to do a backflip, and I just want you to see this video because it's great.
Okay.
Sports Center Instagram page.
Yeah, go to ESPN Sport. It's specifically, I think, Sports Center's Instagram page. But that confidence thing of like,
But I'm not talking. By the way, I'm not talking about a gymnast. I'm not talking about someone who
No, a regular
learned how
person.
to do a backflip.
Yes.
If you're a regular person in the world who happens to be a skill you have is you can nail a backflip.
Yeah.
I think that says something about your entire whole world.
Yeah, I think it also when you stick it, how do you not feel like you can? Like I'd feel like I can fly.
Yeah, you've done the impossible.
There's a NASCAR driver, Carl Edwards. Every time he won a race, he would backflip off the top of the car
That's insane.
for the fans in front of everyone.
Cool.
So cool.
There it
Yeah.
is, right there in the middle.
Right here.
Yeah, watch this. So
This is his son or something.
no, this is coach was feeling himself during the pregame. Guy nails a backflip. Right, unmute it.
Oh, sorry.
So he does it right. Coach is like coming in,
Yeah, coach.
puts sunglasses on. Boom. He puts sunglasses. Here comes the flip. Pulls the pants up. Gotta get those hips. Out.
No, he's unconscious?
Unconscious.
That's weird. Look, he wouldn't be unconscious from that. That's so funny. Now he's got a jarble brain coach at game.
Yeah. Probably triggered old CTE, and he's like, oh, man, I can't bump my head.
How do you yell at these guys? They're all laughing at you.
I mean, dude, you're going to tell them to take a lap? How are you going to tell them to take a lap?
Hey, coach, why don't you do a backflip with your 4-foot torso, 1-foot legs?
Yeah.
God damn, he's built odd.
Did you get those jeans from Baby Gap?
I mean, it's crazy how low his waist is to the floor.
Yeah. And then the funniest thing is putting sunglasses on, like, you guys ready? You guys really want? Nothing's funnier to me
Back
than
the
someone
fuck
being
up.
like,
Coach time.
Ow. He didn't even look like he hit his head.
He didn't look like he hit his head. I'll tell you what.
Do you think it's embarrassment?
I think he's faking the pass out. I think it's better to act like you passed out than to just sit there and go, oh, wait. Your instinct.
No, I think
you're. I don't want to
pop right up.
In the long scheme,
I'd pop right up and start pushing.
In the long game, you're right. It's better to hop back up. Your instantaneous reaction, though, might be to fucking just really snail up and just curl up and, you know what I mean, act like you're out.
I want to pop up
and they wake up and they go, how close was I?
Be like, Rogers, DeMarcuson, get over here.
Yeah.
Stop running. You just say names when you get up. Wolfson, take a lap. Ah, fuck.
Someone give me some goddamn ice.
Oh, my God. Just stabling yourself, grabbing something. All right, guys, we got Central this week.
Lou, did you have a running lie? You and your brother probably made up some good wacky shit.
What kind of fucking grifts did you guys come up with?
Every single thing I've ever said in
How could
grammar
I have
school was a
stolen
lie.
this? How could I have stolen this porno magazine when I'm over here?
We used to drive old shopkeepers crazy.
He goes, "Am I haunting you? Because, or is that me over there?" Well, it's impossible. I couldn't be stealing those porno magazines because I'm over here.
I'm the little boy that died in the train accident 7 years ago. You get out of here. You get out of here. You're a ghost. You're not real.
I told you it was a good idea to buy matching shirts and hats.
We could steal all the clock bars we can handle.
Well, I couldn't be putting that $100,000 in my pocket if I'm over there.
What you call it? What you call this? If I'm over here, who's over there?
Abracadabra.
It throws a sheet and then it disappears over there. Dude, I did that to my
dude, twins. I mean, that's that whole Christian Bale fucking magic movie was based on the
illusion.
Twin. No one thinks it's twins
ever.
No one jumps to that.
I spooked my mom.
Unless you're freaky twins.
I spooked my mom's dog out when I was home because I stayed over there Sunday, but I came back super late, like 2 a.m, and then went to bed. And I woke up at 10 a.m. and my mom's got kind of a new dog. He's a little bit of a spaz. He's a big boy, and I just walked out of the guest bedroom in the apartment, and I was like, "Hey!" And the dog was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" He's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" It was such like he just like watching him freak out. And you're like, "Dude, you didn't even know I was here. I could have scared you." Just ran out, like,
Lou, I mean, everything you said was a lie. What was it? But do you remember like specific ones? Because I used to give a lot of the old. Have you seen this? I don't know why that was the one. Have you seen this movie? Have you heard this song? I go, yeah,
all the time.
I was just doing that to you outside.
Oh, what haven't you seen?
I didn't even know the band's name. EMI?
AFI.
I'd never heard them in my life.
Really? And you're just
funny.
like,
I was
I was like, yeah, pretty good.
Dude, you know what got me? 6th grade. Biggie came out. Big Papa just, I think it was just Big Papa just broke or whatever. So it was after Juicy. But they were playing it, and I was like, oh, I love Notorious B.I.G. And Michaela, this girl I went to middle school with, was like,
cunt.
Is it a person or a group? Like that. And I went, it's a group. No. She went, no, it's not. He's a person. And I was like, oh, fuck.
He's a fat person, though.
Oh,
it's like
man.
a group.
I remember exactly where I was.
He's paying group rate for shit.
I was like, fuck. just the whole day.
I don't think I knew who Notorious B.I.G. was when he died.
What?
Jethro Tull's a fun one to get people with that, too.
Because it sounds like a person.
And Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner. Sounds
Those
like
are good ones. Yeah, it could
damn,
be.
dude. I just never forgot. Oh, man.
That's a rough one.
In front of people. By the way, this wasn't like a one-on-one. Like, this wasn't, and, it's a black girl asking a little white kid if he knows Notorious B.I.G. And I was like trying to be cool.
Did you try to come back at all?
Yeah.
Like, I meant like Junior Mafia. You meant like just him. Oh, okay. I thought you knew the whole
Oh, no.
thing.
I thought we were going like Bad Boy Records, just install that.
Shit. Now, Andre Harrell started out.
Now, I know you love Biggie, but the guy to look out for is a guy named Jay-Z out of the Marcy Projects. He's going to be doing,
That's what I says to him.
Just give my 6th grade brain that information instead of me just what it was in real life was me going, I don't know. My mom listens to Bonnie Raitt.
So what was some of yours, Lou?
We drove a shitty van, and I told people that it wasn't our van that dropped us off. Like, that was just not our car.
What did you say it was?
We just made
the same vagabond picks me up every day.
It's my security team.
My detail.
Made him park blocks away, and we walked. We pretended.
Oh, that probably made him feel like such shit.
Yeah, they did feel like shit.
Damn, dude.
Would you guys be aggressive about it too? Would you be like, don't, because kids can be aggressive and not realize it. They're like, don't come by.
This van has no seats.
What? Were you going to sit on the floor?
Yes.
Like you were kidnapped?
Yes.
I can understand that.
It's getting too real. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Wait, you too, Jacob?
Yeah, because my dad, we used to have to work the flea market every weekend.
Oh, that's already humiliating.
So that was like, yeah.
So you guys would scour
get up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, you did it way more.
Jacob, look at all. You see this junk? It's gold.
Jacob,
we're going to the flea market.
Jacob, have your toast. It's time to go to the gold mine. Jacob, I used to go to a flea market so I could feel your pain, kind of, but I didn't have to work. You would set up a whole area, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to leave the house at 3 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, and then the van was packed with boxes filled with jackets. So I would sit in the on one of the boxes, like on the top of the.
Would you rest against the jackets?
Yeah, you'd kind of make a whole lounge chair for yourself out of boxes of jackets.
But then on the ride back, if it was a good day, if you guys were eating fat off the land,
that's probably we don't have allergies today, though. There's a bunch of them fucking dust boxes.
It was the worst. Oh God, I hated it.
And you had to sell jackets?
Yeah, like CPO jackets.
What are CPO jackets? Bring those up.
Knockoffs.
Nice, dude. Did you ever get to go run around and have fun at the flea market? Like you?
No, it was so cold. My whole weekend was working at this fucking flea market for years. I hated it.
Flea market.
So
Jacob.
cold.
How old were you?
Early.
How old were you?
I mean, I had to go when I was a kid, just because my parents didn't have babysitters, so I just went since I was a boy. But then I worked, I don't know, 10 to.
Are your parents
16?
Chinese immigrants? Where do they get knockoff jackets and selling them?
Yeah, dude. It's just Jacob's dad fighting in line with a bunch of Taiwanese women.
Yeah, how'd your dad get his hands on a bunch of fucking bootleg shit?
He goes, these are my starter jackets. I don't care if it says the Buffalo Bills won the Super Bowl.
They fall off the truck. I pick them up. I put them in. I move them. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Yeah, well, Selena might be dead, but her shirts still sell.
That's how we got by.
Look at this.
We had 5 days a week, and then
Michael Jordan, Washington Wizards t-shirt.
Jacob, turn this around. It's a successful Challenger launch. It didn't happen, but this thing, I could sell it.
I remember the bars. We had to put together the bars to. I can't remember. We had to erect this.
Oh, like the tent.
Yeah, but it was so cold at 20 degrees. Your hand was freezing, touching these metal bars that you had to key together.
Oh fuck! With those little tiny keys, did you have to do it in the summer as well?
Summer and winter, and yeah.
So would you? What were the lies? Did you make up any lies about? Did you just tell your friends you had to go to the flea market?
That I had a life. Yeah, I told them I had a life.
What did you tell? What was your lie? Instead of saying you were at the flea market.
Sorry, guys. Donna likes it early in the morning, too. So I got to jam out early. I got to wake up early and give it to this bitch.
I'm sorry, I'm a gigolo at a pizza shop.
Sorry, guys. Love to spend Saturday with you, but I am all wrapped up.
I'm a lover boy Saturday and Sunday.
Delivering the sausage.
I'll see you guys business hours Monday through Friday.
Damn, saying people you don't work. Did you ever run into people from school at the flea market, or were you the only family at flea market, in flea market life?
The whole time I was there, I think one girl that I liked was...
That means everyone heard.
Worked there.
She worked there. So
nobody knew I existed in high school, so I didn't have the confidence either to lie. I mean, I was zero confidence in school. But when I was noticed, I would lie about shit I did. But I didn't mean to cut Lou off, but he triggered me.
No, I'm glad we got there.
We had the same cargo van.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, sitting on a van floor is getting dropped off blocks away. What did your dad? Was your dad like, fuck you guys?
Yeah, he was like an exterminator, so there was like all the chemicals and shit back there too.
Jesus.
We were fucking cargo.
Damn, dude. It was like you guys in a box of wrenches.
Yeah,
It's like, those are my 3 boxes of wrenches.
You know the smell of fucking of that chemical? Holy shit, never gets off you.
Hey, those chemicals are pretty fragile. Be careful with those containers. Also, I got a box of loose ball peen hammers.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the bumpy way.
Hey, Will, just sit on that box of roach bodies.
And he would have
My
cages.
roach caucuses.
Yeah, he would have cages with fucking critters in it. and
What kind of
shit. I
critters?
definitely rode to school with a raccoon once or
Shut
twice.
the fuck up, dude.
Easily.
Shut the fuck up.
Possums are the scary ones. Possums are scary. Raccoons are fine.
How is it taking
You go-
7 years for us to get
You
here?
go get in the car in the morning, you sit down, you go over, he goes, hey, Dad, this whole thing goes, ah! A fucking possum. Probably goes, hey, Dad, do you mind if we stop at McDonald's? Like, go!
Hey, Dad, I'm kind of stressed about that test on the War of 1812.
Oh, Jesus, it's bearing teeth.
Hey, just give it a chunk of cheese. It'll leave you alone. It'll stop hissing.
Hey, yeah, we'll stop by
Dude,
McDonald's.
Possums, when they grab them by the back of their necks and they're like,
But not even that, when there's like, but you just hear them in a cage. You're driving to school and in the back of the thing, you're
one of the most.
like running around the cage and just fighting.
There used to be this old wrestling promo by this wrestler, Bad News Brown, and he took a sewer rat when he was wrestling Jake the Snake Roberts, and in the promo, he had like a sewer rat, and he was like, and I just remember being like, what the fuck is that? And you rode to school with one, dude. Yeah. Dude, fucking loser, G.
That's crazy, Lou.
Lou, that is. The fact that you're as functional as a person you are right now, you get the Lewis Award. I'm giving you the Louis J. Gomez Award.
Yeah.
For being a person, God bless you.
Who rose above.
Golly.
So what, every once in a while, you go home for a gay rendezvous with 2 men you buy drinks for all night and lead on.
Sure, you disappear like a dad who owes child support.
Sure, I've gone to 7 concerts, yet never watched one with you.
That faraway look in your eye.
But these are all minor things for someone who had to ride to school with fucking vermin.
I'm going to start shaking Will's hand like a vet. I'm going to be like, thank you.
Like
Thank
rats
you
and shit sometimes?
No rats. He would get rid of the worst ones, but you couldn't do anything with a raccoon. He had to stay. But like,
what would you do with the raccoon? Would you just take it out?
Please don't say dinner.
No.
Please, I'm begging you.
No, I don't think you would say it. I would say, my thought was that he takes it out to the woods and kills it in front of Will and Lou.
It makes him make it into a hat.
Yeah.
Turn into a raccoon hat, you fucking queers.
Which ones wants raccoon gloves this Christmas?
no, I think he set them free in different neighborhoods.
That's
really?
hilarious. Black neighborhood, you piece of shit. Tell me right
fucking
now.
racist
Was he
piece
go
of
to
shit.
fucking bad neighborhoods and release?
There was a black family that had no idea why they had a possum infestation, and it's because of Lou's
Why is there
dad.
possums here? They're showing up by like the 3s or 4s.
I don't even know what's going on.
Right off the highway ramp.
Yeah, I don't know.
Get out of here, you little possums and raccoons.
I had so much of that in my backyard growing up. It was insane.
What, like critters?
Critters. Yeah. Possums, skunks,
Oh,
raccoons.
did you ever get skunked?
No, but my cat did.
And then you
a
have
couple
to
times.
bathe them, right? And what?
Just
Tomato?
kinda have to keep her outside.
That's not the answer, Christine.
That is.
She goes,
the answer.
she goes, good riddance to bad garbage. Yeah.
She goes, yeah, they get skunked. You got to kill them. Yeah, you got to put them in a
She goes,
pillowcase. and
you live
slam 'em
outside
against the
now,
chimney.
house cat.
Well, buy peaches, buy petunias. You have to live out here
I
now.
never had house cats. She was an indoor-outdoor cat.
Indoor outdoor cats. Great. Garfield was my cat, and he did indoor outdoor. He was a fucking wild, but we didn't get along.
To say you have an
so.
indoor outdoor cat means you don't take care of a cat.
That's not true.
That's not true. My mom and Garfield got along. He and I didn't see eye to eye, but Trish got along with Garfield wonderfully.
It's too permissive.
Dude, when he
indoor outdoor cat.
When you come back with a wound, you'd be like, "Damn, Garfield, you're out here in these suburban streets."
That's what I'm
I
saying.
had to get my cat's tail amputated because it got crushed.
Oh, this is actually. So you're right. Outside cat is a good idea.
Watching Jay.
She
you guys
lived
are
to be
real-
like 25.
Watching Jay.
She goes, 2 of them got eaten by wild hyenas.
Yeah, she goes, critters. It's
Well,
not-
2 of them got hit by cars.
Christine,
One
you're
of
not.
them lost
Cats aren't
its
supposed to be
tail.
outside. They're called house cats. It's crazy what you're saying.
They love it outside.
They do like it outside.
They like climbing trees.
When we lived across the street from that alternative high school with all the bad girls, bad girls.
Talking about sad
It
girl.
used to be a field. Now it's like a development. that's developed. But when I lived there, it was just an empty field, and Garfield would go across the field and then kill field mice and bring it to my mom,
Horrific.
and then just drop it at the front.
It's not the function of a cat in
Mine
your
would
house.
bring in half-dead birds.
The worst one was my dad's roommate Jim had this cat called TC, Tough Cat, and it would bring back lake critters from Clear Lake.
Critters.
Yeah, like big old mole rats and shit. This was the same place that had the shotgun under the couch, and I'd just fucking sleep there. And I was like, dude. And Jim told me it was haunted. That place was fucked up. I hated sleeping there. That was the first time I was like, I want to go back to grandma's.
If a dog, if a pet brought me, especially a cat brought me back some kind of like half-eaten, still sort of alive,
that mole rat
just monster of a thing. I'm telling you, I immediately have no love for that animal anymore, and I want both of them out of my. I want that
It's
I want that carcass
for you.
It's a present.
It means it loves you.
Yeah, they're doing it as a present. They're trying to make you proud.
Where did you guys grow up in the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Is
No,
that
I grew
what
up
presents
in the-
are to you guys?
I grew up in the high plains of
Oh,
Colorado.
it was a dead maggot covered carcass of a bird.
Good job, Leatherface.
My dad would make friends with the critters and feed them cat food. And
I think that's a bad idea.
He'd keep them in like
Was this
the
when he was
hoods
drinking?
of our cars. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's an alcoholic move.
I don't know.
Alcoholic move is when you find sympathy for a feral animal when you're drunk and you go, "Hey, buddy, I got it."
Just drinking a 30-rack
I can describe
awesome.
Dude, it's so funny. He's just hammered with a half-burnt cigarette, going, "Hey, we've all needed a handout sometimes."
I'll tell you, if I had to describe Christine's dad, I would describe Christine's dad as a guy who looks like he's slept triple-digit numbers of times in a hammock.
I love that. I love that. He's got hammock energy.
He's got definitely spent a lot of time in a hammock energy.
He can just fold his hands on his chest and sleep.
And smoke, rip a butt, probably, and tilted his weird adventurer hat down.
God bless, dude. That's a real man.
That's weird adventure hat.
Oh yeah, with like a tooth and a turquoise on it.
I feel like that
bizarre shit.
I know. I feel like that could be your evolution.
What?
You could add
Star
that
Wars
to your
Crocodile Dundee hats?
Yeah, you could add that to your like
adventure hat.
Yeah, because of Moon Tower.
No. I'm gonna look like a fat guy from Walking Dead, Eugene.
No, dude. You're not a fat guy.
It's just an adventurer hat's not gonna really. Nah.
Being spindly, being skinny does help that hat look.
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp rocks the hat. He looks ridiculous, but like in his it's not going to stop a lot of women from fucking him.
There's a guy that doesn't have to lie ever in his life. He's never had to lie once.
That was her poop.
Why would I lie about that? I'm Johnny Depp. I'm undefeated.
I've never lied once.
It's me and George Washington.
That is her poop.
I would never.
I would tell you if it was my poop.
If it was my poop.
If you'll excuse me, I have to get back to painting over pictures.
Oh, hold on. I have to do my tracing book. I like to trace. Black Lou, what did you...
I have some tracing art to do.
Black Lou, you moved around. Did you lie when you moved around as a kid?
I did. Two big lies. Both of them kind of took off.
Oh, no. You don't want... Here's the thing. You don't want the lies to take off. You
a
just
lie
want
with legs?
Oh.
You want it to be a lie that cuts to the core of a group. A group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once word starts spreading.
The kids were talking baseball at summer camp, and I told them that I was cousins with Tony Gwynn.
Nice.
Nice.
Good
I'm
show.
the only black kid there. How the fuck are they going to check? There's
Dude,
no
I would have...
Tigers, Tony Gwynn?
Padres.
Padres.
I'm
That's a
believing
great
it.
lie.
That's a great lie. You got me. I almost wanted to say I'm sorry for your loss that he passed away.
Thank you.
Tony Gwynn had this voice too. He had the Def Jam white guy voice.
Yeah.
And then he would just hit 400 in a season. Tony
That's a good
Gwynn
lie.
was
What's
awesome.
the other one that got legs?
But did it take off? It took off at summer camp?
Yeah, because kids started asking me questions about him and shit, and like, what does he do with Thanksgiving? And I couldn't keep up with.
You were like
those
just
answers.
pretty much batting practice turkey.
I don't know. He just hits dingers. We just sit in the backyard and throw baseballs.
We feel some grounders, and then we go on for my mom's famous cranberry sauce.
You know, I turn 2, and then it's time for a little, some pumpkin pie.
Thanksgiving, man, with Tony Gwynn.
Yams.
That's what you figure.
Yams, hams, and grand slams. It's a Tony Gwynn Thanksgiving. What do you want from me?
Yams, grams, grand
It's
slams.
just the Gwynn household thing. It's just what we do.
I'm going to go out and hit a few dingers in the backyard while you guys warm the croissants.
You see that? Ting! Tink. Tony, you want ice
Turn
with
it.
Tink.
Yeah, Ma. Be in a sec.
Yeah. What was the second lie?
Again, I just wanted to be cool. So these kids were talking about the new Mortal Kombat game that came out, like late '93, early '94.
Yeah.
And they asked me like, "Oh, have you played it yet?" And I'm like, "No, not yet. My uncle's still getting me a free game because he works for Sega, and he actually does work for the Mortal Kombat stuff. I could tell you guys anything. There's going to be like 10 Mortal Kombat games. There's going to be
You weren't wrong.
movies.
You weren't wrong. You weren't
I
wrong.
wasn't wrong, but I was
actually kind of
ass off.
Yeah, but you're kind of prolific. There's a kid that's walking around that there's a good chance that thinks that you knew all of this.
Yeah, you had a vision. He goes, oh yeah, somebody just goes, "Do you know I went to summer camp with a guy
who franchised like the whole Mortal Kombat thing? His uncle, his dad was franchising it.
He said there's going to be 10X. That was going to be the big one.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
And the
nuts.
two movies.
Lou, you're a fantastic liar. Those are fantastic lies.
Those are such good lies.
Yeah, those are really good lies.
As a short guy who wants to be with the cool kids, dude, you'll do anything.
Yeah.
Say anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, I'm trying to think if I had any good lies.
Do you know what I did? This has made me think of this. It wasn't like an outward lie.
No.
But still very weird. There were things called candygrams in middle school.
Candygrams have been around forever.
They're like universal, right?
Yeah.
So you get candygrams for people.
What is it? It's like
Candygrams.
just what you think. Yeah, someone delivers you candy.
Candy, and then sometimes
They
a song.
say a song or read a letter or whatever.
Sometimes they zhuzh it up.
And they have to go,
Hey, Christine, it's your birthday. Here's some candy. Shove it in your face.
I'm not attracted to you, but it looks like you wanted chocolate.
Want me to sing Freeze Jolly Phil?
Freeze Jolly Phil?
I wrote myself a candygram from my crush thinking that I could trick my older self.
Wait, what?
That sounded like fucking what? What is that?
Oh, you
even?
tried to implant a memory that wasn't there? That's some fucking deep shit.
Wait.
That's some inception shit.
You ordered yourself a candygram.
Thinking that later
I
in
wrote it
life,
from my crush.
later in life, Christine would find it and go, "Oh yeah, Corey sent me this candygram."
And then one day she had a memory. She goes, "That was a really fun summer. We were so innocent.
Love was love.
He sent me a candygram." I think you're just looking for an excuse to have candy.
From Cameron Chalker.
Just shout out Cameron Chalker, dude. Thanks for the great memory.
He was like, "How
Cam,
could
Cam.
Well, like when they go, how can I get candy delivered to my house?"
Fake it. But I actually, at first, I would have thought that was an okay. I think it's an even better idea. You're trying to implant a fake memory in your head.
That's funny, yeah.
I should have done that with birthday cards for my dad. I'm proud of you. Everything you do is awesome. And I'm like, fucking Gary, really always was there.
You were trying to total recall yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's what you're doing. You're trying to total recall yourself.
Totally recall yourself. Thinking you program it.
You go to letter, he goes, "Christine, if you're reading this, you're in grave danger."
I remember a lie that I told like late middle school, early high school was I went to a football camp and I told my buddies that one of the counselors was my cousin because he played football at Colorado, but he wasn't. We weren't related.
Aw.
I met him briefly, and I was like, I'm going to say you're my family because no one in my family is doing jack shit right now.
Well, that's the one shitty thing about having a very unique last name, though. There's no...
Yeah.
You could be tied to something, you know what I mean? Like,
always,
yeah.
In the lie, you always say mom's family.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Maiden name,
We
dog.
were so Jewy, though. What could we
Oh,
have done?
yeah.
What could
If
have
it
been
wasn't like
the worst?
Durowitz or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
there
Uncle Barry was, what's his name? Woody Allen's tissue fetch. That was a professional title. He was a tissue fetch.
He would he'd just go grab it for it. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna sneeze, Barry.
Also, Black Lou had the right idea, which is lie at summer camp. Because summer camp...
Well, that's what I did, essentially. My lies were...
Oh, yeah, because you were going to see your dad.
Where I was going to be like, I'm going to be living a day-to-day lie was Dad's house for, whatever it was, 2 weeks.
Fat Tit Neil, when I went and visited my dad when I was 12, I lied to him and said... At that point, I had smoked weed when I hadn't.
Yeah.
I had smoked cigarettes. I think I just smoked cigarettes. I wonder how that timed out.
I'm trying to think outside that thing with when I was like a
because that's when I started.
Kid in high school. I'm trying to think if I ever like lied sexually, but I don't think I did. I don't think I've ever like
made something
said
up.
I did something that I didn't.
No,
do.
that's creepy. I think that would be too creepy to feel like, yeah, we fucked, and then they're like, no, you didn't. You're like,
no, I'm sure.
Nah, we
I'm
didn't.
sure I told a story to that degree. Summer at Dad's with people I'd meet over there. I'm sure. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would assume that if I was going to do that, I did that. But I didn't do that like home base at all.
I would, and I wonder if we're similar in this.
Circle was small.
In this, I wonder if we're similar in this way. I was insecure to the point where I would talk my way out of getting girls. I'd be like, I'm stupid. I don't know why you don't want to talk to me. And they're like,
I saw Jay talk himself out of money one time.
It's you can do that.
Yeah.
You can talk yourself out of stuff that you want by being like, I don't deserve that. We were joking around about that on Monday with how we promote our shows.
Oh, yeah.
Which now I've decided, when I was walking Myrtle today, I was like, we're going big, dude.
Yeah.
We're going every time we...
I swear to you.
All I do is win, win, win anytime we promote the shows.
I was thinking of...
Good luck getting a ticket.
Dan,
I think I'm sold out the rest of the
Dan, I swear to God, I started saying to my... Because, we pitch each other's thing, and I was thinking to myself words. I was like... you know what? He goes, it might not be a bunch of times in your life you get to see this high level of talent in a show. DanSoder.com.
Yeah, oh my God.
Coming to
That's what I'm thinking, like,
Hollywood
Houston.
Comedy Store. If there's tickets left, grab them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, even if you don't want to go, the resale's going to fucking quadruple.
And I'm just going to say this, Houston, Texas, you got a little taste of it in October at Skankfest. Well, now get the full dose. Go to the Houston Improv this Thursday through Saturday. I would say buy a ticket on Thursday, buy another ticket for Saturday night if you can.
I'd say
they're
check.
going to be too sold out.
I'd say check right now. The website's probably crashing.
Yeah, I heard that the Improv overall as a company had a problem with Jay because of the demand of tickets. It's the best in the world. It's your boys, Jay and Champions.
People who sell out
everything, and everything they do is perfect.
If you can get a ticket.
Now, back to how we lied as children because we didn't like who we were.
Yes. Now, back to where I was.
Dude,
head hung low, slumped over.
I went to elementary, middle, and high school with Ricky Henderson's niece, and I was like, it was one of those things where when she said it at first, I didn't want to believe her, and then I was like, your last name is Henderson. And I was like, it all checks out. And then we went over, and then, you found out that she wasn't lying.
Yeah, that's funny, too, when you think somebody else is lying because they're, like, keeping up with you, and then theirs is true.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, dude, you really fucking...
It's like, hand jobs are great, right?
Yeah.
And you're like,
cool, whatever.
And he's like, yeah, they rule so hard.
I wonder if kids lie as much as we did when we were kids, because I felt like everybody lied.
Yeah, well, it's harder now to do. Like, everyone's got owning a camera wasn't even a thought in my lifetime as a child.
Do you remember holding one and being like, this is crazy? I remember when
the disposable ones came out,
yeah.
I was like, cash money. I'll keep one of these in my life, I guess. And then, like, when there's anything like a school trip, I guess I'll take one.
And then you didn't realize that 90% of them were going to suck because it was like the back of a seat of a bus and half of your friend's head.
Oh, for sure. That, and then also it was just like, dude, I don't know. I'm telling you, I wasn't the only one doing this. This isn't that crazy, but like being a kid, I guess at the time that I was a kid, you were like an adult creep. Because my pictures would be like, I'd go, all, not saying these words, but you're basically like, for some reason, whatever, all the hot girls in school, like, line up, like, sideways, I guess, in front of the thing. You know what I mean? I'll get you guys one of these pictures.
Dude, I didn't even have the...
It really is like luring them in. He goes, no, why don't we loosen those tops up, ladies?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Hey, does anyone else notice that Jason has a 37-year-old photographer energy?
Does he have porn photographer energy? Girls, come on. Well, what do you want? You want to go back and tell your parents you couldn't hack it in the big world of modeling?
They call your mom in and they go, Miss Okerson, we were just a little worried because Jason's diorama set was a casting couch.
Yeah, a casting couch.
And
Yeah.
he put a little leather couch in. He put a tiny refrigerator for bottles of water. And then a chaise lounge.
A tiny, if you see to scale, a tiny little Ghetto Gaggers magazine.
He's the only fifth grader that is brought in different sexual accoutrements.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, I tried to write a thing one time. I think I actually have pulled it off with, like, changing names. I wrote about Ed Powers, the Dirty Debutantes guy. Like, who would you like to have dinner with?
Dude, that's
I was like,
so
Ed Powers.
Mine was like Hulk Hogan or Jeremy Roenick because I liked NHL 94 on Sega.
This is probably 15 years old. It's not crazy.
You're horned up.
Yeah.
Man.
And Dirty Debutantes was what I would come across. That was the most accessible, available porn for somebody.
For me, it was up-and-comers.
But same thing. By the way, it's the same exact thing.
No, I know, but it's basically like Hellman's mayonnaise versus Best Foods mayonnaise.
No, it's one just came after the other. Like Up and Comers was the follow up.
It's the same though.
But they're the same thing. It's just Randy West did what Ed Powers did, and Randy West, in fairness to him, better looking guy with a much better body. But Ed Powers, dude. Ed Powers is yuck.
Here's my question. Do you think there is less of a payoff for younger generations now masturbating because it's so accessible?
Yes.
That they're just like, oh, I want to see boobs. I'm looking at boobs where we hunted for it. Men and women hunted for it.
You're desensitized to it for sure. And that's why, look, this is like a hackneyed argument at this point, but it's exactly why, like, if you told an 18-year-old, like, you know, like an 18-year-old's already like, I love getting cum all over my face. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Who are you?
What?
Yeah, I remember being like
that's the thing. When 18 years old should still kind of be like,
no,
or no, or even if it gets on there, it's kind of like they're finding out. They're like, that's kind of hot, or you know, whatever. They're young to be like, it's like, yeah, dude, fucking rip a fat load on my face. Like, what?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
There's also that. I think this came out years ago. A study that Japanese, like younger men in Japan, are having harder times blowing loads in ladies because of porn. Because they're so used to facials and like fucking tit shots.
Oh, pull out in the face.
I cannot leave it in. Leave it in. God damn it, leave it in.
Squirt.
Ah! Look that up though. Some Japanese study, because it's probably. I mean, when the thought of having a phone at 12 years old and just being like,
not a phone, access to whatever to the internet.
No, but I'm talking about specifically a phone that's yours, in your room.
Oh, yes.
It's a supercomputer.
It was when you got your own line.
The planning I had to do to watch the VHS tapes that I bought, it was a bank robbery. It was 2 minutes. You feel that you hear that garage door, you hear that heat coming. You better get ready to abandon everything. I cut.
Well, you know, Dan, there's a flip side to that coin. What if you're getting ready to bust?
I'm sorry I didn't mow the lawn. I got splat on my rack too. So I'm sorry if the grass grew a little long. But one time my mom was coming home and I was watching a porn and I was priming the engine. I wasn't gonna jerk off, but I was gonna jerk off, but I was like getting ready to.
You're just letting the world know what's going on. Let it breathe a little bit, dude. Like a fine wine,
dude. I remember it was.
Fair?
It was. I remember the scene, and I went to hit eject, and the tape was stuck. Mm-hmm. So I had to run to the kitchen and grab scissors and just go like, and just pull it out and just pull the tape and run upstairs.
Yeah,
dude, I was like, man down. I didn't even get the full jerk on that tape. I was so upset, and it was like one of those mixtapes. It was called like, you know, Gonzaga's Galore too.
Oh yeah, mixtape I much preferred.
Always the best.
One of the first, like, send $1, we'll send you a porn tape in the back of a magazine I did. The tape was just an hour, at least, probably, but an hour of trailers for porns, but full penetration trailers.
Loved it whenever I got, like, a Vivid thing, and there would be, like, these other, and they would do the phone lines before.
But in the advertisement, in the trailers, they'd get to, it was basically a montage leading up from like them talking, her sucking, them fucking, him coming. And so you're like, you get it all in like a 20-second piece.
You get a little dose.
It's great.
But men famously searched out for porn pre-internet. You had the internet your whole life, right?
No, I didn't get internet until I was about 15.
So did you and your friends, when like girls were looking for?
Yeah, I remember we had like a scrambly tape, and it was like a big deal.
You never hear about women trading porn, but they did. Like
Did they?
They give each other tapes and stuff.
Yeah.
I never like used porn, if that makes sense, until I was like 19.
She reviewed it for the local.
But I remember being excited to like
porn
see
corner with Christine. I remember like one girl in my middle school said that her and her friend had like a Cinemax movie, and they would give each other that. And I was like, we did that. We did that 2 years ago, you dirty sluts.
With Cinemax movies?
Oh my God, yeah.
Wouldn't even have wasted my time.
McDaniel and Adam Hill.
Even when you were
shout out that tape from Adam Hill, dude. He gave it to us in 7th grade. It was like 2 Shannon Tweed movies and something else. And McDaniel had it, and I was at McDaniel's house, and I was like, yo, let me get that Cinemax tape. And he's like, no, it's mine. And he's like, it's Adam Hill's. He's like, I can let you borrow it, but you can't tell Adam Hill. And then I fucking coveted that thing. I held on to that tape. Shannon Tweed and her big old boobs.
I think we got my friend
rocked.
I think we got my friend Benji in trouble because we found his dad's stash of videos, and it was like he was doing the the thing where he would record 3 pornos onto a VHS.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
It wasn't like a purchased porn. It was like a transferred porn.
Yeah.
And it was like three Dirty Debutantes. And I think I slid one out.
So you started at hardcore
This is a
porn.
good lie. No, but I didn't.
Because the first time I saw hardcore porn, I was like, "Holy shit!"
I don't remember when I saw hardcore porn, but I could also.
like,
but
take
I
it
didn't
back.
need. But I also didn't need hardcore porn. You know, what I mean, as I encountered it young, but when I was younger, I could just easily get off to like nude pictures.
See, that's why you just need to mentally and emotionally be stunted at 14, like me.
I've jerked off. I've jerked off to nudie playing cards before. You know what I mean? In my life.
You're like,
I
I
jerked
lost
off
it.
to Cinemax movie.
You're like, I lost it to the pen as the ink drained off the bikini.
But I have gotten to a point where like a bikini picture will not strike me to jerk off in a million years. It couldn't be the hottest bikini picture. It wouldn't. So I'm desensitized as far as that goes.
Sure.
But when I was younger, I didn't need to see like the whole.
But that
I
tape,
saw it pretty young. That tape. So I brought that tape home. I don't know if I asked if I could take it.
Damn.
And I think because what I remember was
horny.
Poor Benji. Poor Benji. I think he.
Oh man, it was his dad's tape.
Like, yeah, and I think like he had to come to us, everyone that was there, and do like the guys, whoever like took it, like I need my back. Like his dad yelled at him basically. I think, and it was. I think I just played like the old like. Dude, I couldn't even begin to guess what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, how old are you?
Dude, that was 6 full hours of Dirty Debutantes on one tape.
How old are you?
Oh, 13. Maybe.
Okay, yeah. That is the
horny boy.
That's the most 13-year-old move possible. Is going like,
I don't know.
no idea.
Yeah, he goes, guys, whoever gave. I mean, I felt it too. I definitely felt.
Yeah, like sorry, Benji.
We found the Playboys really young. My dad had a huge box of Playboys in the garage, and me and my girlfriends were always very interested in those.
And found those and looked through it.
And then I found my dad had like really raunchy porn magazines under this like cabinet in the bathroom.
Oh, that's a weird
that my
find.
cat found.
Your cat found
My
it?
cat was like playing and like
God.
pulled something out.
Horny ass cat.
My cat was downstairs murdering a rat.
And then needed something to fucking flicker bean to.
Yeah.
We were.
I don't know what it is. I get really horny after a kill.
My after school program was at this gym called the Cherry Creek Athletic Club. Then it became Heartwood Athletic Club, right off Chambers in Hamden. Now it's a mosque.
Nice.
Shout out Aurora. But it was a gym / daycare center.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the daycare center, and during the summer, you're like, we were kind of, I don't really know if we were allowed to like run around the grounds, but there was like anyways, we were by a bush, and a kid found a gay mag that was thrown into the shrubs. So it's clearly like a suburban dad was probably fucking jacking off, at the gym, and then looked at a gay. But dude, I remember looking at this gay, and I just remember this one picture. I thought it was so funny because a guy was strapped to a table, like his arms and his legs, but it was a cartoon. It was drawn. It wasn't an actual picture. And then his dick was against his belly, and I remember thinking that was so funny. I was like, look at his dick against his belly, and they're like, what is this? And then the next day, like, okay. It was like one of those things where you turn the page, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if that's pretty crazy. We were in like 5th grade.
I would have giggled my way through it. I got to tell you, I don't know what it says about me at all, but like, what's the healthier reaction, Dan? Just your opinion. What's a healthier reaction to seeing someone just get their dooker stretched open by a wiener of another guy?
Yeah. Well, immediately.
Versus like kind of laughing and being like, Jesus Christ, that's so whack. Or doing like the, turn it off.
For us, it was a sliding scale because I think for me,
what's the healthier reaction is what my curiosity is.
I think it can be either or. I think laughing at it's.
You think can't even bring yourself to see it?
I don't really know about that. For us, for me, I can tell you I was like 10, and I just remember being like, oh, a wiener, that's funny. And then it like shit got real when you turn the page.
That's
and you're
a
like,
lot for a 10-year-old.
You're like, you, all right. It wasn't like, I wasn't like, oh my
wiener
God. I was more
wiener,
like,
okay. A wiener in a guy's butt at 10 years old, you're saying?
Yeah, we were like 5th grade, yeah.
Yeah, that's... Okay, I'll tell you what, even at that age, even if I wasn't like holy shit, if I thought it was funny, I think I'd probably feel the group reaction is to go, oh!
There was 3 of us, and we were like, whoa!
And that's when I went into the closet.
And I'll tell you what, and that's when we became a human centipede.
Never done anything sexual with a guy, ever. I've never had a feeling like that, but it's so funny how little I give a shit about. Again, watching a guy still kiss a guy in person still kind of like, that makes me giggle. I'm like, it looks weird. But I don't care. You know what I mean?
You're not against it.
No, not at all. But I'm saying, so it be in front of me, I might have more of like a look away, like 2 guys fucking. But a video of it makes me laugh 100% of the time.
And I think it's normal that it can also make you not, you can be like, I don't want to watch this. That's a normal reaction. I think that's
I've never sought out, nor would I want to watch. But I'm saying, if the funniest thing is like, hey, throw up, is there a gay? I tell you, the gun in the butt thing. That's what started all of that.
Yeah.
I just saw it was on eFucked. It wasn't like a gay porn site. It was like funny porn site. Mm-hmm. Son of a bitch, that was funny.
Funny porn's a very weird genre to be in. You go, we're doing porn, so you got to get hard, but we're doing it in a funny way. And you're like, I don't know if I can commit.
It
like
might
this.
go a little something.
I like this.
Like this.
Yeah. This guy in Minnesota, or was it Minnesota? Fuck, all the road dates are blending together. Some guy, in Raleigh, like yelled out Winnie the Pooh, and I was like, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you're going to make me feel like an 80s impressionist where I turn around and I'm
Dance monkey.
Yeah, and then, I like made fun of it, but I did if Winnie the Pooh was here, probably go a little something like this.
Like this.
And then I turned around and I'm like, fuck you. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, lying as a kid, I think is, I used to feel so bad about it because my mom was really, my dad lied to my mom. That's why they got divorced. So she was like, don't be a liar.
I'd fought a piece when I would lie to my mom. If I had like,
God, she caught me. I'd be so scared.
If I had like, and these are just dumb ones. If I had like,
yeah, like, did you do your chores?
No, maybe lying is the wrong word for this. Just letting my mom down in general. Like, I just really my mom was young. I just watched her like work just like a teenager's job essentially, and like taking care of me. I just felt her youth even still. So like I felt her thing. So I feel like damn, pothead, forgetting like the point I was making.
You're talking about lying.
Lying to her. Yeah, not someone's lie, but if I let her down, I would get like, I would just start to like, sob. And I would have crying confessions to her. It was so bizarre.
Oh my God, you were such a sweet boy.
I was like, I lost pieces of those. I remember there was a He-Man. I can't remember what it is. See if you could find it. You could turn it into like 4 different things. It was like a red thing, like a spider almost, but it was a bunch of arms and a bunch of legs, and you could make it.
Sure.
That was the character would change a bunch.
A He-Man figure.
It was and I just lost a bunch of the pieces, the arms, and just bawling to her and telling her about losing the pieces. And she was just said such like a, okay, like relax, like what's the, and I go, I just know you work a lot, and but I said she was just young. I knew what our rent was probably at like 6 years old. You know what I mean? Like I knew what my mom made just from hearing her. Do you know what I mean? Jeez. It was like, it just sounded like we come in at the skin of our teeth every month.
Yeah. And she was a young mom, so she was. So you're actually seeing. You're also.
But if we had $25 extra,
if you were
seafood platters, dude, fried seafood platters.
If you're a perceptive person. You're good at reading rooms. You're good at reading people. That's why you're an awesome comic. It's why tickets can't be held down in Houston, Texas, this Thursday through Saturday. Get the tickets now, dude. Improv, bigjcomedy.com. But
is there even a possibility there's still a ticket? Try. I'm begging you to try.
Try now.
Because if there's an empty seat in the house, that means a person missed out. So you'll be fucking up. And that's going down at the Comedy Store in Hollywood, California, everybody.
Dude,
that's March 31st.
Special guests, a night to remember.
I mean, they'll add a show, I guess, if they have to.
And then Cobb's.
Listen.
Yeah. Everyone does that. You know who gets an unfair rap of that? SNL catches that all the time because they have stolen stuff, but then also they've gotten stuff where people are like, you probably watch this.
I've seen a lot of stand-up concepts on Family Guy and the Seth MacFarlane stuff before.
Yeah, so,
sure, but I don't.
We'll get into that later.
I'm just saying. Watch your ass.
No, but back to you and your mom and those like crying confessions. Mm-hmm. I understood that because I had an opposite reaction. I wouldn't get emotional. I would be so terrified to let my mom down because my mom, I had an older mom, and so what she was is very vocal about the stress she was going through. So my mom a lot of the time was like, I can't fucking deal with this. I got Ellen on my back at work. Heartwood's charging me $5 more a month, and then you're coming through with D's, and I'm like, I failed a class too. And she's just like, what the fuck? Your father's a fucking drunk liar. So whenever I fucked up, I always was like, the way that you were like, I saw my mom's youth, I saw my mom's stress. So I saw her stressed out all the time. So I was always like, which now I'm learning in my 30s how not to bring that into my relationships personally, of being like, is everyone okay? Is everyone all right? You know, like I was so programmed.
My
like
mom
that.
didn't strike me as stressed. Like at that, then she started having like kids and working at a hospital job. But that all happened within a little bit old. She went back to she went back to college when I was 11.
But I'm talking about, it was you two for 10 years.
Yeah.
Some of your most formative years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, you were being...
My grandparents and stuff, too.
Sure, you had your grandparents, but I'm saying it was you and your mom.
Yeah.
So there was this sense of, like, us, everything you go through, I go through.
Right,
and it's us. And then you got Gary just dicking around in the fucking peripheral.
Yeah, Gary's
That's what Garys do. Gary's a peripheral
No,
dick.
my mom, though, was like I said, it wasn't like a stress. Like, she liked her retail job. She dressed me up in a tuxedo, and I'd go be a ring bearer at the fashion shows.
But you know what?
She would go drink with her friends.
I also think
like,
that's what I find interesting is like you can follow that and see how you're comfortable like dressing up. Like you're very comfortable doing that. You know what I mean? Like in your personality.
Sure.
Kind of how like she wasn't stressed, but you were still like, you felt an emotional weight to it.
Oh,
But you weren't stressed, so you were still fun, which is like, makes sense when you know me well. You know that I'm stressed out about stuff that makes no sense. Where you're like, why are you stressed out? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's been so many times where Katie was like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, I really don't know. I made up a fight in my head to be stressed out about. And she's like, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to make my mom tear up? Ask her about the time. She loves the story of she was stressing out one day, and I kept asking to go to the park. It was money. She was like stressing about money stuff.
Yeah.
Was like raising the rent or something. And she goes, yeah. She goes, if you can give me $1,000, I'll take you to the park. You know,
Jesus.
But like, it was like just like frustrated mom shit. And she goes, and I brought over like I had a little choo-choo train. What do you call it? Piggy bank.
Yeah.
That had like some change in it. I brought it over to us. It goes, is that you could have all of this? If it,
Oh my God.
She'll cry if you tell her.
Oh
that
my
now.
God, dude! Because the second that line came out, your mom was probably like, Terry, you didn't need to say that. You know,
Here's
like,
what
give me
I always-
$1,000 to go to the park. She's like, God, Jason's a good boy. And then you come back with the piggy bank. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? This fucking sweet boy.
And what's funny about it is, here's what I wonder in my mind. I wonder if I went and got that piggy. If it was, like, you always wonder about my own intentions.
Sure. If you're like, let me stick it back.
Was I like, if I bring this to her, like,
I
it's
can go
like,
to the
it's, like it's like there's not $1,000 in here. I know, but it's like the suggestion's going to melt her, and she's going to take me to the park.
I don't know.
Or
if
if
that.
I was like, but to her, the story will always be, and I just let it be. He goes, Mama, does this make is your life easy?
The choo-choo train can feed us.
Yeah,
She goes,
kids are
oh,
sneaks.
God.
Yeah.
I'm
They
like,
know how to
I know
play.
We're
inside.
talking about being liars.
I'm saying, I know inside if you're going like, this bitch is going for
Take
it.
the bait, you
He goes,
slut.
she's putting her jacket on. She goes, really, Mama? Thank you.
You've been listening to SiriusXM's Bonfire. New episodes every Tuesday through Friday mornings and full shows always on SiriusXM.